the Olympics, they have a boxing segment, or whatever, and there's basically, I woke up one morning and I saw on Twitter or X, transgender just beat up a woman in Olympic boxing. My Twitter blew up. Everyone is saying like this should be not be like allowed. This is very scummy of the transgender person. Can't believe the Olympics allowed this. The female that lost, she's Italian, and she said it was the hardest hitting punching she felt in her life. She's she got hit twice in the face and she quit after like I believe like 40 seconds. And it was, I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like I obviously don't think a transgender person, a man, should be fighting a woman because obviously like men have the advantage in physical capabilities. That's just how it is naturally. And boxing is like very serious. Combat sports is very serious. You take years off your life. You know, you can possibly die in there. So it's more than just like, oh, a sport. It's just like next level. On top of that, she's lost in the Olympics.
Well,
so
any like sport at that caliber is very dangerous to have, you know, lower level athletes fighting.
Yeah, no, I just meant like, cause like running, for example, you just lose. It's not like you're getting hurt. You know what I mean? But like, but yeah, it was just very like everyone, Logan Paul, Jake Paul,
had said something.
Mike Tyson, like everyone said something about it. And then what I found out, I did more research into it because, you know, news spread like wildfire.
Also, too, like you wouldn't think the Olympics looks into everything.
Like yeah, because that's like serious, extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
And I looked more research into it, and she has some weird disease. I forgot what it's called. I think like Swire or something.
I don't know. Swire
disease or something.
Where the person has both has XY chromosomes, but they're female.
Yeah, so XY chromosomes normally are just male, but she got banned from like the world championship or something like that because she had XY chromosomes, and what really happened is she's actually a female.
She was born a female,
so it's like I mean, it's complicated with the situation, and I'm sure she has like more. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure I read online that she has more testosterone than like the average, you know, female.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say that she had tweeted out something or sent out a message that she is transgender? Like she herself says she's transgendered?
No.
Or no?
No.
She says she's
I think
female?
she said she's not transgender. I think that's what she said.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it goes both ways. Like for the girl that lost, it must feel horrible, you know, thinking you're fighting a transgender, fighting this person. And for the person that won, she also, by the way, looks like manly. So like it's like, you know, like if you told me she's transgender, you know, just from looking at her, you can be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Where did it come from that she was transgender then? Like who started that?
I don't know. It just popped up online, and then everyone ran with it basically. But she looks manly. She has XY chromosomes. You know, it's obviously like, it's like the perfect recipe to like kind of like.
Well, I seen pictures of her, like, she didn't seem like physically like her arms,
Bill.
For example, like that much stronger than the other girl.
But if it feels.
I know probably feels a lot harder.
No, I mean, I'm sorry.
But physically, there didn't seem to be an advantage. I would say like that.
Well, no, like it's not about like how it looks. You know what I mean? How something looks.
But say like I
told you, power is like talent.
Yeah, I
like
get
some
that.
People
like
are just born with it.
If I'm walking into a fight and I don't know who I'm fighting, and I see this woman who's shredded, and like say I'm just like regularly built, like I'm toned and stuff, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like I can't fight this person.
No, it's not. It's not about muscle. You know, Tank, Gervonta Davis.
Well, I'm saying I understand that, but I'm just saying like. Physically, because she's like, oh, she's transgendered, she's a male, you think physically there would be somewhat an advantage.
Look, yeah. But, I mean, for the girl that won, it must feel harder on her end, because she's probably getting bombarded with hate, and, like, you know, she's probably, like, we can call it, like, oh, you shouldn't be boxing, you know, all this stuff. Like, I can't even imagine. But, again, it's very, like, it's very complicated, you know what I mean? I feel like it is very complicated, because when it comes to, like, sports like that, like, you don't want to mix, you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the Olympics does their research. I'm pretty sure like
Yeah.
to that advantage, like to that extent. I mean, like they're gonna figure that out because you're at the Olympics. This
Yeah,
is
it's the highest
your
level.
sports. Like they're not gonna mess around with that and jeopardize their image
Especially like
over
boxing
something like
or,
that.
but
So
but the Olympics are like, I think this Olympics are like considered like the worst Olympics, everyone's saying, because first of all the opening, like there was a lot of controversy with that. This boxing thing now, even though like it's kind of like misinformation a little bit, like everyone's kind of like going with it, and it's like some people have done their research, but like the damage is already done, kind of. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's just I was telling you like I don't understand the. Do you know the Italian girl? What her name is?
No.
Oh, but I don't understand like why she's like I said like her side of it, like why she's crying, why she quit, like oh like this is unfair, it's the hardest punch I've ever felt. Like I was telling you like I've never done it, but I could potentially punch harder than you, and I'm a female. Like it has nothing to do with man female. Like you don't know. Like that's why you train and you fight to be your best ability. I don't think it ended up being just because she has the male chromosome that she punched harder. I can't just assess that to that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you said, I think obviously like a girl, like a guy versus a girl in a fight, a guy always has the advantage. There's no like the guy should beat the girl, but like that's not like
you don't know.
Yeah, it's not like 100% like the girl is gonna lose. You know what I mean? But like for example, if there's a high level guy boxer, high level girl boxer, the guy's gonna like destroy the girl.
Yeah, but like from my understanding, what she said is that she never felt a punch harder that was so unfair.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't just pinpoint that.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, and maybe she like thought or she heard about the controversy with her X and Y chromosome. She thought she was a transgender, and maybe like it was all mental. But to be honest, like I said, power is like talent. Like whether you're gonna hit hard, you know, like you could look like the most scrawniest guy and you could hit like a truck. And like maybe this is just like one of the girls or one of the people she ever fought that like had that much power. You know what I mean? Like for example, like Ryan Garcia, he's thin, but he's like he like just, if you see the knockouts he does, or Gervonta Davis, or you know they're not like, you're just born with that. You know, obviously you can train accuracy, speed, and like hand-eye coordination, all that. But like what you're born with is what you're born with. You know what I mean? And
sorry, in this fight, were they aware of who their opponent was going into it?
I believe so, because they're saying the woman who won is fighting again this Saturday against another person. They named the person, I forgot who, but
I was gonna like say too, like you don't like do like any research, like watch like past fights of your opponents. Like I mean, why is this just like kind of thought of now? Like oh, they had this disease. Like this could potentially be like a shifted contest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure how it works, but people were saying you could like deny opponents in the Olympics. I don't think that's how it works, but like people were saying like, oh, if you don't feel comfortable, you could keep denying her and then she won't be able to fight. But I mean, I don't think that's how it works.
Like if I'm in a fight and I know this person has a physical advantage, I'm gonna kind of bulk up on something else to like, you know what I mean, train something else that can help me against that advantage. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like study their film? That's what it's called, studying their like.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say like, just like watching or like even hearing from interviews, like oh that person really like they punch hard. Like
yeah, you're gonna.
I'm gonna listen to that and be like, say I'm lacking in power, maybe I can just be quicker and get to them faster. You know what I mean? Like I would just, especially in the Olympics, you gotta do your research. You want to be the best fighter.
Plus, I'm not sure how it works, because like in like professional boxing there's obviously a lot of film. Like for example, Canelo, he has like 50 fights on film. You can probably more.
Well, in any sport, like that's why like football, baseball, they always watch film on opposing.
Yeah, but like the like I'm not sure like where, like if they have film of her. Like I'm not like you know what I mean. Like I'm not very sure on that.
I'm sure
maybe there's something. You know what I mean?
If she's an Olympic fighter, I'm sure she's had a lot of fights that you know she's to be in the Olympics. You're a very very obviously good athlete. So, I don't know. So